Hey Christine, it's Mike from Clarington Kia. Just wanted to show you my favorite tips for the Kia EV9 as far as taking an extended road trip like you are out east, and how to get the fastest charge as well. So let's hit the EV button over here. And this is by default the screen that comes up. It shows you your battery percentage, the distance to the closest charger, and then the predicted range, 399. This one over here, the 406, is if you're not using climate control, what the range would be. So just kind of a little bit of cool information there. But the better screen is sliding it to the right. Now we get some really great information here. So first and foremost, let's talk about the electricity usage. This is going to show you what is consuming the power on your trip. Drivetrain being obviously the motors, climate, electronics, and battery care. Those four pieces of information give you what's using or consuming your battery. So as you're driving, if the climate control was consuming a little bit more in the wintertime, obviously with heat, you can turn that down to save a little bit of electricity usage, but that's a really neat screen to have there. Now, the other important thing that I want to show you is this screen right here. Let me zoom in. So the battery conditioning screen, right now you see how it says low? That means that the battery is not at the optimal temperature to receive a fast charge. So when you are 25, 30 minutes out from your next charging location, push the activate button if this is indicated low. What that's going to do is going to warm up your battery, get it to the optimal temperature, so that way when you plug in, you can get a full 180 kilowatt hour charge into the car as quickly as possible. If the battery is not at the optimal temperature, it will take time to get it there and then start charging at the full capability. So this is a really great tip to do on a long drive. Now, when you come to the screen, if this says optimal, you don't need to do anything. It's already at a good temperature to accept a charge, and you'll be fine that way. You see over here the nearest station here as well, just kind of summarizing, I guess, that other previous screen, which is over here as well. Now, the last tip I want to show you, and this is a really, really great tip. On this screen here, again, another summary of the same information. What you would love to use on this screen here is the EV range history. This is a graph. Now, when you have a destination input, it's even better. But what this graph is showing you is right now the predicted range is 399 kilometers. And this is obviously goes all the way over here to the same 399, right? As you're driving, your driving habits, the air conditioning, how fast you're driving, etc., all can improve or decrease the range that you're going to get out of the car. So this will update in real time as you're driving. Anything you'll see this graph here, and then a solid white line. The solid white line, if it is above the line here, then you are getting better than expected range. If you dip below the line, it means that your range is decreasing faster than predicted. So you can monitor this as you're driving, almost like a cool little video game, to try to get the best range by changing your driving habits. So either bringing the speed down to somewhere around 105, 110, that I found to be pretty optimal when I took my long road trip last weekend to Montreal. That seemed to be the perfect speed for the best range. And you can also change the regenerative braking. You can go from one pedal to level 3, level 2, level 1, whatever it is that you feel is getting the best range for your driving. And that is also dependent on elevation changes, right? If you're on a very flat road, you could definitely go to a level 1. It's not going to be regenerating anyway. So level 1 really frees up the motor to kind of allow it to do its real thing and then coast as far as possible without obviously using any energy. Whereas on a level 3, for example, when you lift off the accelerator, it's going to start to regen on you, which you may not want obviously on a nice flat road, because then it's kind of drawing that speed out. So it's a balancing act, but for sure, depending on the terrain and everything else, you can change that regen mode as well to get the most optimal mileage, or I shouldn't say mileage, range out of the EV9. But this is a fantastic chart to monitor on your drive, just to try to get you either on that line or above that line, so that way the predicted range is what you're expecting. And obviously when you're getting the expected range that you get, your charging stations that you've pre-planned out are going to be accurate, and you won't have any range anxiety. It's just going to be a nice smooth road trip for you. So those are my two really favorite tips for long road trips in the Kia EV9. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this is helpful for you. Please let me know how your drive was. That's a lot of K you're going to put on your car in one trip, and I'd love to know how your experience went. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but please drop me a line when you get back and just tell me how great it was. So thank you so much, Christine. We really appreciate your business, and I hope this tip really helps you out. Safe travels and have a great road trip. We'll talk to you when you get back.